This is a you versus them for Cancer. The person on the right here is the wolf. And the person on the left is the stingray. So the wolf here is someone who is coming out of a great transformation. They're leaving something behind. They may even be going solo in a circumstance here, or if they're not going solo, there is something where they are transforming into a version of themselves that they haven't been before, a version of, or they're going into a stage of life where they need to step up and become a leader or do something individualistic as well. The wolf here is coming across as someone who's very individualistic and has an idea of whatever they've left behind now is completely in the past, because the wolf is coming out from the fire. The fire is burning behind them and they cannot go back to that. The stingray here has a lot of esoteric wisdom. They have a lot of knowledge. They move in a very in a different way than the wolf. There's no like words coming to it. So this is someone who's very elusive. The way they are being interpreted by people around them, no one can really pinpoint what they're doing. Like when I'm seeing the stingray or when I'm thinking about the stingray moving, all I can see is them moving so quickly in a circumstance that I can't really vision what they're doing. No one can really see what the stingray is actually doing. They're so elusive that the way they're moving is, it's too hard to pinpoint. It's too hard to pinpoint what they're actually doing. But the stingray very well knows themselves what is going on, but no one can really see what the stingray is doing. The Six of Swords, the stingray is moving into a different way of understanding or perceiving something here. They may have had some type of enlightenment moment where they're understanding stuff about who they are, their body, the way they move, and what they bring to the table. They also realize that they can be very harsh with the way they communicate here, because the Six of Swords comes after the Five of Swords. So there may have been something here where the stingray has said something possibly to the wolf or just people around them that had come across as very blunt, or very, the conversation wasn't very nice in some way, but they realize that and they're moving away from that and they're taking their knowledge and their wisdom with them. And I feel like because of that, they're very silent and isolated at the moment. And that's why people don't really know what's going on, because they're going internally here and really focusing on the wisdom and the knowledge and what they have learnt from possibly being, because it's a stingray. So they may have stung people in the past. They may have caused some type of uncomfortable situation in people's lives where they have come across to people as quite blunt. And I feel like the reason they do that is because, or the reason why they are like that is because they're of their intelligence. They're very intelligent, and I feel like when they communicate with people, they just want to communicate in a way that's very upfront, and they're not intending to be mean or blunt or hurtful. They don't beat around the bush. They're very upfront, they're very blunt, and people might perceive that as hurtful or harmful, but I feel like they're changing and really understanding the way they communicate now in a way that they are moving and taking their knowledge and they're just keeping to themselves for a little bit to really analyze and process what's going on with them, in order for them to really communicate in more of a way that's aligned with not only them but the people around them. The wolf here at the moment is searching or going towards or achieving some type of fulfillment within themselves. This is independence. This is independent fulfillment as well, and this is something that's making them satisfied and also fulfilling some type of hunger or some type of need that they had within them. The Daughter of Swords here, which is the Page of Swords. So they may even be looking back, or because I'm noticing the different colors here, and the stingray has like the different colors and the rainbow here, whereas the wolf is very monotone. And I feel like because the wolf has the fire in the back here and the fire here is on top of the turtle shell. There may have been some type of dispute between the wolf and the stingray, and I feel like the wolf may be looking at the stingray, even though they're separate from the circumstance. They may be spying on the stingray or trying to figure out more information about the stingray. They're really trying to delve deep into the stingray for some reason, but I feel like the stingray is like that they're in their shell. No one can really find the stingray at the moment. Again, very elusive. No one really knows what the stingray is doing. So the stingray here, they are very sad and feeling very left out with the time they spend with people and the emotional connection. And there is this sense of regret or remorse happening around the way they have spent their time, their energy, or their resources on something here. And with the Daughter of Cups, I feel like they are renewing some type of energy, and the Six of Pentacles is underneath here. So whether the wolf comes towards them or not, or whether the stingray goes towards the wolf, or whatever happens here, it's a process that the stingray had to go through in order to get through some type of change, in order to get past some type of, I want to say initiation, but it doesn't have to necessarily be that like drastic, but it's feeling like they're getting through and getting past some type of like abandonment issues and stuff as well could be coming in here, or some type of abandonment situation where they're feeling left out. There's a lot of like rain and stuff happening here. So I feel like they're actually emerging themselves into the emotions, and that's why they may be very elusive, not being able to really see at the moment what the stingray is doing, because they're going right into their emotions here with the Daughter of Cups, and then they're going to come back up on the surface and they're almost going to look brand new. Like they're not going to be recognizable when they come back up from the depths of their emotions. And with the Knight of Wands, this is them coming back up. They're taking a lot of, like, they're taking a lot on the chin. They're really swallowing their pride at the moment, and they're coming up and they're finding some way out of feeling exhausted. The Six of Swords is moving away from choppy waters. Down here, the Six of Swords. Then we have the Hermit, which is finding some type of wisdom here. So I feel like they're coming out, and they're going to come out, and they might even come out slowly, and it could even be like in the dark a little bit. So they're slowly coming out. No one can really still see quite the like, you're starting to see, it's like the Loch Ness monster. Like it's is it real? Is it not? Have you got photos of it? Like, do people know it's real? It's like people are starting to see the stingray a little bit more than what they did before. And there is some wisdom they have that they're going to start bringing to people. And I feel like people are going to start to, with the Six of Pentacles, start to give something to the stingray in order for the stingray to give the wisdom that they have. So everything they've said before that has caused hurt or was blunt in some way, they didn't really harness their wisdom. And I feel like now they're coming out and they're harnessing their wisdom, and people may even want to start to ask the stingray for support or advice, or come to the stingray in a different way. And I feel like the wolf here with the Ten of Cups may even want to go towards the stingray here with the Page of Swords and communicate with them about how to bring this connection back together, or how to find some type of extra fulfillment here. The wolf has a decision to make and wants to go in a certain direction, wants to do something new here. And the person who has the wisdom may possibly be the stingray, but because the stingray has stung the wolf before, the wolf doesn't know whether it's a good idea to actually ask the stingray for advice. The stingray is going through something very transformational within their own understanding of who they are and their own wisdom, and the wolf is going through something very physical at the moment, where their whole life is changing and they're going from one aspect to another, and their happiness is increasing and increasing, but they're needing some type of advice, and they can see the stingray has some type of wisdom or knowledge, and they're wondering whether they should make the decision to go towards this, to do this on their own, to ask for advice, to ask for support, or just they're looking, that they're seeing what the stingray is doing, that they're seeing glimpses of the stingray, and that they're wanting some type of connection or something with the stingray, but they're wondering whether they should just let it go and let the stingray stay in the dark and just go out and do this on their own. I feel like that's a decision the wolf has to make, whether they're actually going to come in and communicate with the stingray or whether they're just going to let it go. So the wolf has a decision at the moment whether they want to open this can of worms again, worrying they're going to get hurt again, or leave the stingray to do what the stingray does.